Okay, hi, welcome back to House for Gaming. It's been a while since I've made any videos, let alone a video like this. So, what I want to talk about today is hype. It's something that's really big in the gaming community. Everybody has that one game or a series of games or something like that, a genre in particular, that everybody has their thing that they really like, and they have this ideal game in their head of what they want. To give an example, after Fallout 4 came out, where I live in an Appalachian area, I really wanted a Fallout I thought like Fallout Frontier or Wilderness or something like that, set like around the Ohio River or the Mississippi River area, to see how different a more rural area would have experienced the aftermath of the fallout in the universe. Especially, I would imagine it looks similar to places like Point Lookout and stuff. More, vegetation and stuff, because there would be less target locations for the nuclear warheads to land. So, most of the plant life would probably do okay. And I was really curious about that. So when they announced Fallout 76, I was so excited. Especially because where it's in West Virginia. When I was a kid, we used to go to Camden Park all the time. And so I was really excited that that was going to be in there. So I was so excited for Fallout 76. But I pre-ordered the collector's edition and everything. And then I played the beta when they had the beta for people who pre-ordered out. And I hated it. It was really laggy. And I played it recently. I'm not saying that it's not better, but it's still not the game I wanted. And I feel like a lot of people felt the same way. I think 76 is a great example of something that happens in the industry way too often. And for those of you that don't know, there's recently this whole controversy about the game director for Ori, Will of the Wisp, where he was talking about how all these studios like CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk 2077, and calling out Peter Molyneux, who has a huge reputation in the games industry for lying about the games before they come out, Sean Murray from No Man's Sky, that there was a whole controversy to the point to where he was forced to apologize, which I think is completely stupid, because everything he said was right. This is a problem, and people need to start acting like it's a problem, because it's not right that in the gaming industry we encourage this behavior. When a game is announced, these big studios or indie studios like Sean Murray and Hello Games realize that they can make so much more money and they could be more successful by lying to everyone, lying about every detail of the game. They could literally just make it completely up. Half of the time, like some of the stuff we've seen with the CD Projekt Red stuff with Cyberpunk, is they announce a game and then they don't start working on it till years later. So when you see something like the demo at the 2018 game showcase, and now we're finding out that that wasn't even a thing, that they just made that up specifically for that. They literally lied about what the game was going to be. There's a disclaimer saying it doesn't reflect the actual experience, but when you're showing a slice of what you're saying the game is going to be, people expect it to get better from there. People expect that to be representative. That's why you're showing it off with the game title. When you do stuff like this, you build up this hype, right? You're setting expectations. You know what you're doing. You're basically tricking people into pre-ordering your game because you know that most of those people are going to keep it. Half of those people are just pre-ordering it for a friend or a kid or somebody they know, and they're going to give it as a gift, and then nobody's ever going to return it. So what you're doing is you're setting it up to where the vast majority of your sales are going to be taken care of. Your development cost is going to be taken care of right up front on launch day. And if you actually care about your community in any aspect, you can always fix the game later. You can always add stuff and change it around and stuff later. That's what happened with No Man's Sky. It launched way worse. Like, I'm disappointed with Cyberpunk, but I was also in the No Man's Sky shit. And No Man's Sky was way worse. They literally promised the universe, and what they gave us was like a shitty Minecraft clone where you couldn't actually build anything, really. And I've even had problems with the next update, and I haven't played it since then because I had problems where, like, I took like a week off. I didn't play it for like a week because I worked a lot of overtime, and I came back a week later, and like the place where I built my base said it was undiscovered. Every solar system that I discovered said they were undiscovered. All these planets I went to, every time I would land on them again, it would say, you just discovered blah blah blah. Even if I had a base on it, it like showed my base on it. It just said I just discovered it. So it just made me really pissed off because, like, what I played No Man's Sky for was the exploration. I love the idea of exploring and discovering stuff. And the naming got a little tedious after a while, but it was fun at first. I apologize for Gigi. She's having a fit right now. She wants attention like crazy. But what I'm getting across is that these studios understand now. Like, it started a long time ago with Peter Molyneux and Fable, and it just kept going on and on. He particularly did it with every game he was ever attached to. Didn't know he was attached to Goddess, and I got into that too. I had no idea. I just saw it on Steam and was like, oh, this looks fun. And I enjoyed it for a little while, and they just kept changing every mechanic about the game, and then it just completely got dropped. The developer just left it for dead. And I personally would like to be able to play the original version that I bought, if they could bring that version back ever. But basically what I'm getting across is, stop letting these companies hype you up for a game. I see a lot of people getting really excited about the upcoming Mass Effect remaster, and that's fine. From what I've seen, it looks good. But what I saw of Cyberpunk 2077 looked good. What I saw in No Man's Sky looked amazing, especially after what I was told too. See, the developers, especially these big developers that have developed this reputation, they understand that you trust them, that you want to trust them, that you need these games to be good, that you need this to be good, that this is your passion, that you care about these games. And they take advantage of that. Because, frankly, I think a lot of developers don't care about video games, at least the higher ups. I think the lower level devs, they care about video games. That's why they got into the industry. That's why they're constantly abused left and right by these companies, because they care about video games. and they're taking advantage of their passions. But these CEOs, these talking mouthpieces like Peter Molyneux, they don't care about video games. They care about one single thing: your money. That's what they care about. They care about getting your money. And they know video games is the biggest industry in entertainment now. People will shell out a ton of money for video games. Look at all the stuff about the FIFA microtransactions. There are people spending thousands of dollars. I personally know people. I played mobile games with people, and I hate mobile games, but I played mobile games with people who are spending hundreds, thousands of dollars a month on a mobile game. And they set up these systems to where you want to spend the money. Whether it's a multiplayer, a mobile game where you develop this sense of community and you really care about helping your community succeed. So you want to shovel your money into that to help each other, to help build up your guild or whatever. Or it's a single player game where you just want more. You love the world that's created, but there's just so much more that you could explore, so you just keep buying more stuff. Or let's say it's a single player game and you just want more. You don't have the time to grind through all the tedious level up stuff. So, hey, here we go. Here's an experience pack. Here's resource packs. Big Ubisoft thing. Where you can just pay to skip the game. Pay to skip the boring parts of the game. I don't really hate that, but I see it as a predatory thing. They're deliberately preying upon a certain type of people. They know some people don't want to grind. They know that some people have more money than they have time. So they take advantage of that. And I just think the whole thing is just a plague on the industry. I understand monetization. I completely understand it. I think certain monetization is perfectly fine. I think there should be a value assessment on your monetization. Are you giving your consumers a worthwhile value? When you're doing loot boxes and stuff, and you have, let's say, one thing in all of your loot boxes that most people want, but there's no chance of any of them getting it, you're deliberately just preying upon them. Now, if you have the option to just buy that outright, maybe that's better. But if it costs you like 30 minutes to create the asset to drop into the game, or it's an asset that you had in the game and just cut it out, why are you charging people for that? That's part of the game. That's part of the game you sold to people. Why are you... It feels like a lot of these developers don't understand what false advertisement is, because nobody ever calls them out on it. That's where the money is now. All these big game companies are bigger than shit like Big Tobacco and shit. So they know nobody's powerful enough to really come after them. So that's it. I just don't let yourself get hyped up on a game. Don't let yourself get hyped up and get disappointed. Remember, all of them are just video games. And no one's probably ever going to make that one game that you want. And if you really care about it, maybe you should be the one to make it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm not really feeling good right now, so I don't know when I'll upload again. Thank you.